What's up, everyone? Back at it again. Today, we're going to be talking about 10 seriously trippy sci-fi thrillers you probably haven't even heard of. These flicks are like total hidden treasures that mix sci-fi with all sorts of crazy stuff like mysteries, scares, and mind games to make something totally one of a kind and make your brain do a backflip. All right, let's dive right in.
Who are we? Where do we come from? And are we alone?
All right, kicking things off with Europa Report, a flick from 2013. This one's got that shaky found footage feel and throws you headfirst into a private mission heading to Europa, that icy moon hanging out around Jupiter. Turns out, some robot scouts found an ocean hiding under all that ice, and get this, there might even be life down there. What makes Europa Report kinda special is how real it feels. The filmmakers seriously did their homework on what Europa is actually like, so the whole thing feels totally believable. If you're into space exploration stories that balance scientific curiosity with the terror of deep space, then Europa Report is gonna hit that sweet spot for you.
Talk to me!
Forgive me.
All right, moving on to Predestination.
So what, you're a cop?
I'm a temporal agent. We prevent crime before it takes place.
What is it?
It's a time machine.
Starring the always awesome Ethan Hawke and the incredible Sarah Snook. Now, hold on to your hats, because this ain't your typical time travel movie. So, the story kicks off with this temporal agent on his last mission to take down a bomber way back in 1975 in New York. But trust me, that's just the very tip of this brain-melting iceberg. Unlike a lot of movies that just use time travel to move the story along, Predestination dives deep into all the crazy paradoxes and philosophical questions that come with it. Seriously, the less you know going in, the wilder the ride is gonna be. Trust me on this one. And can we just talk about Sarah Snook for a sec? Her performance in this is absolutely mind-blowing. The way this whole story unravels will have you turning it over in your head for days after the credits roll.
I know where I come from, but where do all you zombies come from?
All right, next up we've got Midnight Special.
It's time, you ready?
Yeah.
With the always intense Michael Shannon playing a dad who's fiercely protective of his son, who happens to have some seriously mysterious powers. They're on the run from pretty much everyone, government folks and this intense religious cult who think the kid is either a weapon or their personal messiah. What I love about this film is how it focuses on the emotional core, the father-son relationship, while building the sci-fi elements gradually around them. The film has this gorgeous, moody atmosphere with stunning visuals, especially in its final act. If you enjoy sci-fi that's more about the human experience than flashy effects, this one's going to hit home.
Dad. It's okay.
What if I told you I could offer you something that would enable you to walk again? I call it STEM.
Okay, so next up is Upgrade. And seriously, this movie is a blast but still hits hard. This dude Gray gets totally messed up and his wife is killed in an attack. Then he gets this crazy implant called STEM that lets him walk again and basically turns him into a total weapon so he can get revenge. The fight scenes are nuts. They've got this cool camera thing that makes them look all smooth and robotic at the same time, which totally fits the story. Even though it probably didn't cost a ton to make, Upgrade is super creative, looks awesome, and the ending will mess with your head. If you're into sci-fi that's a bit dark and has some seriously killer action, you gotta check this one out.
You didn't know that I'm a ninja. While I am state-of-the-art, I am not a ninja.
This little chemistry experiment goes sideways. I want you to finish my book and dedicate it to me.
Now, if you're into your sci-fi with a big ol' side of scares, then the Banshee Chapter from 2013 could be right up your spooky alley. This thriller's got that found footage feel, and it follows this journalist trying to figure out what happened to her friend. Her digging leads her to some shady secret government chemical tests and these super creepy radio broadcasts from who knows where. What makes this movie extra freaky is that it's kinda based on those real CIA's MK Ultra experiments, you know? That whole mind control thing from the 60s and 70s, yeah, that was a real thing. The Banshee Chapter builds up this really unsettling vibe that's pretty effective, especially if you watch it late at night when it's dark. Just a heads up.
Anything else?
Okay, now for something totally out of left field. Colossal with Anne Hathaway and Jason Sudeikis. So, Anne Hathaway plays Gloria, this writer who's lost her job and basically her whole life, so she moves back to her hometown. Meanwhile, this giant monster is just wrecking Seoul, South Korea, and somehow Gloria is linked to it. What starts off feeling like this quirky, small-town comedy takes some seriously dark twists and turns. It uses this totally bizarre idea to talk about some heavy stuff like messed up relationships and taking responsibility for your actions. And Hathaway is awesome in this role. It's not what you'd usually expect from her. If you're bored with movies that go exactly where you think they will, Colossal will definitely throw you for a loop with how it mixes sci-fi, dark humor, and some intense psychological stuff.
What was that?
A helicopter.
With the pilot and everything?
Alright, next up is Freaks.
You know the punishment for breaking the rules.
No, Dad!
You opened the door. You almost got us killed.
And it's all about this 7-year-old girl named Chloe, whose dad has kept her locked up tight. He's always going on about how dangerous the outside world is, but as she gets older and more curious, she starts finding out some pretty messed up stuff about herself and the world around her. What's really cool about Freaks is how it slowly rolls out the sci-fi stuff. At first, it feels like this intense psychological thriller, but then it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. This young actress, Lexi Kolker, is incredible in it, and Emile Hirsch and Bruce Dern are great too. This little indie movie has some serious twists and a lot of heart that you don't always see in bigger movies. It's definitely one of those films where the less you know going in, the more mind blown you'll be.
I don't want to hide anymore.
Number 9. Number 9 is not a starter home.
Okay, you ever feel totally stuck in that boring suburban life? Well, Vivarium takes that feeling and cranks it up to a full-on nightmare. So, Jesse Eisenberg and Imogen Poots play this young couple who somehow end up trapped in this super weird housing development where every single house looks exactly the same. And get this, they're suddenly forced to raise this creepy kid who grows super fast and just copies everything they do. It's like if The Twilight Zone had a baby with suburban hell, using this bizarre setup to talk about things like fitting in, being parents, and just how soul-crushing everyday life can be. Just a heads up, this one's a slow burn, and it's more about the creepy atmosphere than a ton of action. But if you're into those weird, symbolic stories that make you think Vivarium has got a lot to unpack.
La, 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 la.
Alright, if you're into the whole world of dreams, Come True is about this teenager who's having some seriously messed up nightmares and decides to sign up for a sleep study. But as the researchers start seeing her dreams, things go from bad to seriously creepy for everyone involved. This movie totally nails the dream sequences. They feel genuinely unsettling, like a real-life nightmare. Plus, the way it looks, with this retro future vibe, awesome neon lights, and a synth soundtrack, creates this hypnotic feeling that sticks with you. If you're a fan of horror and sci-fi, and you're looking for something with a really cool atmosphere, and that's a bit different, you should definitely check out this Canadian indie flick.
This is exactly what he's been waiting for.
Run! Do you think they need help?
And last but not least, we've got Synchronic, starring Anthony Mackie and Jamie Dornan, as these paramedics who start seeing all these weird deaths connected to this mysterious new drug that lets people actually travel through time. The directors, Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, have come up with a really cool and different way of looking at time travel that skips all the usual cliches. Instead, they dig into stuff like friendship, facing your own death, and how the past weighs on us. Anthony Mackie is seriously awesome in this, playing a guy dealing with his own mortality while trying to save his best friend's daughter. So, If you're into sci-fi that uses big, mind-bending ideas to tell really personal and human stories, then Synchronic should definitely be the next thing you check out. Thank you for watching. Did your favorite make the cut? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this and want to see more videos like it, hit that like button and subscribe for more content.